A numbers course. That is where we are. But let us look. This is information provided by the Ministry of Education. In 2020, 28.4% of the cohort get 5 subjects, including maths and English. Imagine, Senator Campbell, what would be the uproar in the United States if 28% get a GED? What would be the uproar? But in 2020 to 21, it gets worse. 17%. 17% of our children get 5 subjects, including maths and English. We could go forward on the analysis, because at this time now, I figured that maybe the president now would say, what about 2022? Why don't put 2022? 2022 was worse.
Speaker's time has expired. Remember, I had a long run up, you know.
Okay, yes.
Mr. President, given that the Speaker's time has expired, I move that we extend the time for him to complete his presentation in a reasonable period of time. Thank you.
I have a request on the Speaker's time to be extended for him to complete his presentation. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. Senator Crrawford.
Yeah, Mr. President. So as to not be accused, because the numbers for 22 weren't sent, I found a report that said in Gleaner, performance decline in CSEC math and English language in 2022. 2022 was worse than 17%. So, make a look some more. In the last 5 years, based on the information provided, 185,896 young Jamaicans enrolled in secondary schools. Only 43,000 got a minimum of 5 subjects out of 185,896. So when they start to say, how come the music start to say fully dance? The majority of the market, based on their lack of academic success, perceive themselves and has been accused by the society as being fully dance. Not the music, the market. The real culprit is the system created within the society that calls for a child that could learn at 9 months to be dunce at 19. Not valiant. Go again, Senator Fraser, again, because it's getting worse. It's getting worse. I show here, the orange line is those who did it. The blue line. So the yes line is blue, and the no line is it's supposed to be an next color. But can you imagine that? They did not get those subjects. Continue, Senator Fraser. The police recruit persons with 5 subjects, as you would know, Senator Bunty, and they expect that you're under the age of 30 and over the age of 18 to 30. So for the 12-year period that exists, Mr. President, the recruitment tool and pool for the police force is 105,000 possible persons. Most of those would have been wanting to be doctor, lawyer, and Indian and chief. So within the pool of 5 subjects, the police force is not the most attractive. If we should say those who don't qualify, then the recruitment pool for the gangs is 446,150 between the ages of 18 to 30. 4 times. It is almost a miracle that we're not worse than we are. 4 times the size. Put that in the context that there's almost no place for the uneducated in the economic activity of a country. Because those who used to wash clothes have been replaced by a washing machine. Those who used to chop bush replaced by a weed whacker. Those who used to mix cement have been replaced by premix truck. I remember as a boy, 50, 60 people said, I'm going to do a roof, I'm going to deck a roof. The whole community came out. Now it's 2 men with a premix truck. So there's no muscle work anymore. And in our society, the minimum acceptable to join the police force is 4 times less than those who could not, if they so desire, based on the requirements of the police force. If that is not code red, I don't know what exactly is. Mr. President, I did some further analysis. What could cause this, Senator Golding? We have to now start to ask ourselves, because when 80% or 83% is not achieving a standard, it is no longer possible to be the individual's fault. It must be systematic outcomes that cause 83% to not achieve the minimum standards. So I started to do my research. I started to dig deep. And you know, Jamaica loves to say that 100% enrollment and 96% enrollment. The World Bank said don't use enrollment, because enrollment don't reflect attendance. A lot of the kids you see out at the stoplight are enrolled, meaning registered to a school, but they do not attend. Let us look at that reality. They say at pre-primary education, which is basic school, approximately 86% is attending. Now recently we heard a big hullabaloo that only 50% of 0 to 6 are in schools. But the real truth is 0 to 3 is seldom in a school. It is the Royal Reed, former senator, that came with this brain builder thing. I'll touch that soon. So when the World Bank is looking at the basic school, which is age 3 to 6, they say about 86% of our children are attending. Now don't underestimate the negativity that we're still seeing from basic schooling. Because if you have 40,000 people and you have about 15% of 40,000, then you look on 6,000 not attending. 6,000 not attending. Now the police commissioner said 300 violence producers. So if you have 6,000 not attending, my God, if you get 10% out of that, you're going 600 violence producers. Don't underestimate, but it is okay, we can work with it. Primary education, 92 to 91% attending. But then look what happens at lower secondary school. 75% attending. By the way, the light blue line is 2010. The dark blue line is 2018. In 2010, we were at 75% attending. In 2018, we are 72. Not right direction. Not right direction. Upper secondary school, which is grades 10 and 11, 58% attending. Then no wonder 1/3 never sit. How should they sit if they don't go? So therefore, we're losing about 20% after grade 9. If this is not an emergency, if this is not an emergency, and there is no anxiety being created within the ministry. Let me go further. So we look, why? My God, it now show good. No, because I prepared this, yeah man, I'm going on my screen. I prepared this in particular for Senator Golden, you know, because I know Senator Golden wants to say, yeah man, the numbers. Senator Golden, reasons given. This is a World Bank study. I want to read the lower part for you so people don't think it's my graph. Not attending school, drop out before grade 11, 17 to 21 year old. World Bank based on Jamaica survey of living conditions. So this is not my numbers. What are the reasons given for not attending school? 57% of all age school students, all age, said that they reached the terminal grade, so them stop. 57%. 34% of primary junior high. You know them have this one where it's not really all age, I think it's got 10th grade. So that is because they reach a terminal grade. Why then do we still have 97 all age schools? And almost 83 junior high schools. Isn't that a lack of interest in correcting a problem that states that in some rural communities there is nowhere else to go? Senator Campbell, shouldn't we be making some boarding schools therefore if they have nowhere else to go? So that they can go board and go to school because there is no connectivity between where they went until they're at 14 and stop. The research is there. But when you look at secondary high school, none. 0% say they reach terminal grade, that's why they're not there. They continue out of habit. But when you have a culture where a man say you done school, so go working at the farm. You done school. You done school at 9th grade. And from 2010, there was a commitment to remove all our late schools. We're now at 2022. It would be better, Senator Golden, if we made it into a shift school and primary go morning and then the other one go night. Shift is not good. But my God, you cannot make them leave at 9th grade. Because they have nothing else to do and nowhere else to go. But we will get worse. No, when it kept getting worse, I get getting more and more depressed. This one is showing? Jesus. I could go further. They look at the difference between why boys weren't going to school and why girls weren't going to school. Senator Golden, I don't want you to miss this one. They divided boys from girls. The World Bank, UNICEF study. It says World Bank based on Jamaica survey of living conditions. Senator Gale, 49% of girls not in school is because they're pregnant. 49% of our girls of school age not in school is because they are pregnant. We not even look at the 41% of boys that say they're simply not interested in them. Listen to what I'm saying. 10 and 11th grade. So when I hear we saying we want a 7-year experience, at the 3rd year, 41% of the boys say we're done with this. And you say at 2 years. Listen, man. 20% of boys say money was the problem. And the 17% say, boy, I reach terminal age. Another problem we have, 12% of boys and 6% of girls were expelled. If rehabilitation isn't a part of youth punishment, then who will be rehabilitated? You expel people because they can't survive with others in space A. But you must then have the other reform schools. So we recommended that one school, reform school per region, we have 7 education regions, should be established because the person who is a deviant should not be left on his own volition from the age of 9. Oh my God. 10% of boys not at the primary school were also expelled.
At primary school.
Primary school. But I'm going to look deeper into the whole concept of our girls being pregnant. Senator Golden, when you read this. A whopping total of 59,591 births to adolescents were recorded between 2009 and 2019. In 10 years in Jamaica, based on Statistical Institute information, 60,000 young women, underage women, girls, proper term, had a baby, not get pregnant. It not include abortion and all of that. They said gave birth. 60,000 young girls gave birth. So, Mr. President, I would like to recommend that this time, knowing that we intend for a 7-year secondary school experience, that it is sensible to review the age of consent from 16 to 18. Because if we want them to be in school, then sex creates a risk of 49% already being there. Make a look what UNICEF said. The reasons for age of consent. Because a man might have said, so they're not big picnic. The age of consent is a tool used in the society to achieve some outcomes. The UNICEF reasons for age of consent. The objective of a minimum age of sexual consent is to protect adolescents from sexual abuse, from the consequences of early sexual activity on their rights and on their development. One of the greatest consequences of early sexual activity is that they will become pregnant and lose their future. It further says that young adolescents may be lured into sexual activity by older adults based on our Jamaican circumstances here now, in exchange for goods. And that goods could be technology and say food. You know how much of these nasty men out there about KFC and fast food to lure our little young girls suffering from the economic circumstances and poverty that they're in. The UNICEF says to protect them, making those from disadvantaged settings and poor background particularly at risk. This 42% is not equally distributed among the 5 quintiles of income. The highest income quintiles don't have 42%. The lowest quintiles who go into something and get $500. I have experienced. I took 400 kids from East Rural St. Andrew, St. Abunty, and I took them.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.
This is Motivational. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Motivational.